Alright guys, welcome back to another Should You Summon. Today we're going to be talking about if you should summon on PHY Pikkon's banner, and the very quick and easy answer for this is no. But that wouldn't make for a very good video, so let me explain to you why. Once again, if you do want to see these permanently and these sticking around this series of Should You Summon, then show your support in the video by dropping a like. Let me know down in the comments. And while you're down as well, consider hitting the subscribe button. All the support is very much appreciated. So starting with Yellow Coin LR Pikkon's banner, it is straight up doo-doo. Outside of him, who I don't understand the slander for, by the way. Very good unit, very good Yellow Coin LR. Like him a lot. There is no value on this banner whatsoever. There is no saving grace, but I mean, typically Yellow Coin LR banners aren't that good anyway for value. And you free-to-play players and you newer players, which there's quite a lot of you coming off the back of the 10th anniversary, should be staying away from banners like this. As I said, there is no value for here. Nothing that can help you boost up your account, help you with teams, or any of the difficult content right now, because a lot of these units just have no value and they're not being used. So free-to-play players, you should be staying away from these anyway. Newer players, Yellow Coin LR banners are not your friend. The Yellow Coin LR, the brand new shiny one, which in this case is Pikkon, may be very good. But the rest of the banner, unless you get lucky and can get Pikkon in one summon and dip, which isn't guaranteed, yeah, save your stones, especially with Golden Week literally being in about a week's time. You free-to-play players, you newer players, that is where your stones should be being spent, especially because there is a high chance we see Dimer. It might not be, but considering we're coming off the back of the Dimer hype train, it is quite likely. And the Golden Week units are always pretty good. Other than that, save your stones for like the bigger celebrations, such as Worldwide, maybe Tanabata, and then of course anniversaries. But in general here, there's no value. This Gohan and Piccolo unit isn't being used. This Videl, Piccolo, Golden Frieza 17, 17 and 18, none of them are being used. This Strength Pikkon, even though he recently just got an easy A, I thought on paper he looked quite solid. In game, no. No. We don't talk about the strength one. The AGL one, great. The new Fizz LR, great. This guy, no. We don't talk about you. He's like the middle child that you forget about. The only other good unit on this banner is I was going to call him SSBK. Super Saiyan Kaioken. And while he is usable in difficult content, there are better choices. I'll be completely honest. There are better choices. But the fact that you can build up guaranteed dodge, or pretty much close to, is very nice. However, in some points of difficult content, if you're not building up enough dodge, etc., he will get you killed. But he is a lot of fun to use. He can either make a run, or he can completely ruin your run. You know, dodge or die units is exactly what they say on the tin. So if the banner doesn't put you off summoning for LR Pikkon, let's go through his kit, which I doubt a lot here will. The only way you should be summoning for LR Pikkon is if, one, he's your favorite character. I mean, Dokkan is a single player game at the end of the day. If you want to summon for him, summon for him. If he's your favorite character and you like this green bean, by all means, go for it. And then if you spend money on the game, like you're collecting every unit type spending money on the game, then by all means, go for it. But as I said, you free-to-play players and newer players, you should be saving your stones for the hyper and bigger celebrations. It's just not worth your stones, nor any little bits of money you want to put into it. However, Pikkon is a pretty good unit. You know, he is running Otherworld Warriors or Saviors with this brand new improved buff lead for Yellow Coin LRs. Saviors, not so much, but Otherworld Warriors in a very good spot. Now the team is very strong, even though it doesn't have a 220 lead. You know, you have the new LR Pikkon. This guy for the first 6-7 turns is good. After that, I wouldn't really bring him. If you don't mind using dodge or die units, you can make the most out of this Easy 8 SSJ3 Goku that we have here. But of course, like dodge or die units, you can either make your run or break your run, and considering against two of the harder enemies, dodge is cancelled at one point or another. Against Blue Goku, you can't dodge whatsoever. You probably don't want to take him into there. Against Jiren, cancelled in the final phase, but I mean, by that point, if you have both Gogeta and Vegito, you could just completely shred his HP bar with their active skills. Might be worth bringing in there because you can dodge the whole way through. Then we have 3 10th anniversary LRs, the main ones of course being Vegito and Gogeta, of course 2 of the best units in the game. Don't need to say anymore. This guy actually has some use on this team. You know, you sit him in slot 3, you switch into Goku, you get 1 Rainbow Orb, you get a ton of damage reduction. As a slot 3 unit, it works. It works. And not to mention, you actually put out some solid numbers. So as I said, for a slot 3 unit, even though people don't really like this Go Freeze in it too much, it works. We also have the Easy A Tech Gogeta, which as soon as you get these two fused, that Gogeta is still monstrous. And also can help with Easy A AGL Pikkon's unit super attack. There's also that, of course, when they fuse, Gogeta can super attack a bunch, do a whole ton of damage, have the scouter, etc. Good times. Even my boy Super Saiyan 2 Angel Vegeta has some use here. Now, you do want to kind of isolate him with the Tech Goku. So that way, Vegeta can get his Majin Buu Saga buff, his Goku buff, and then, of course, you want to get him 18 key so he can guard, which is very doable. It is very, very doable. You know, early on, get a few attack stats with him. You know, maybe for the time being, have them separate. Should be fine. When the difficulty starts to ramp up, you're stacking defense with him. Keep those two together for a bit. And then they should be good. They should be good to work together. You know, even then, as a slot 3, my boy Jeet should be okay here and there. We have Easy A AGL Pikkon, who as a slot 3 unit works really, really well. You know, you're looking at a unit that is pretty much dodge or die. It does have guard for 7 turns, which is handy. But it's pretty much there to be a support and dodge in slot 3. Yes, doesn't link with the new yellow coin LR. However, considering you can use the LR's active skill literally from turn 4, which are very good active skill conditions, there'll literally be only one appearance. If this guy's in slot 3, you'll have one appearance where them two don't link together, which isn't that bad. I think it's an okay sacrifice to make, considering you're not looking for the AGL one to do damage. You're looking to him for support and for him to dodge, which even early on at that point, he also has guard still, but you're looking him to support and dodge, which I think is an okay sacrifice to make by not having them linked together, because he'll also support the new yellow coin LR. Those two supports will also combine, because the yellow coin LR is giving how much? All allies key +3 in attack and defense +40%, along with his support of, is it the same or 30%? It's superclass allies key +2 in attack and defense +30%, and then other world warriors, which of course the new LR leads 200% wise, 30% attack and defense. So that is a total of what? Key +5? Yeah, key +5 and 100% attack and defense for other world warrior category units. So the fact they don't link together, to me, not a big deal when you've got that much support on one rotation, and you'll only see it once before this guy transforms or uses his active skill, basically locks in and gets serious. I don't think it's that big of a deal. And then we have a couple more usable units here. You know, we have Super Saiyan Kaioken, which, don't get me wrong, he's not a world beater or anything, but for a side banner Easy A, or not a side banner, but a side Easy A, he's pretty good. He is pretty good. Especially if you're constantly getting lucky enough with the orbs, with the AGL Tech and in orbs to constantly get the more defensive option to build up all that dodge chance and also have guard, but more so the dodge chance with the type of numbers enemies are putting out nowadays, because you can pretty much build up guaranteed or close to guaranteed dodge, which, as I said, with dodge or die units, it can make or break runs. So if you get quite unlucky, he will get you killed, but if you're constantly getting a ton of AGL Tech or in orbs, you're looking at close to, if not guaranteed dodge, which obviously is great. And then the last unit, while not so much at the moment, because there's only super class enemies, there is Super Easy A Gogeta, which if you're facing an extreme class enemy, great, because you can have guaranteed guard, which of course you don't have against super class enemies. He's still a good Super Easy A, it's just you want to be facing extreme class enemies, which of course we don't really have at the moment. But definitely an option if we ever do get an extreme type enemy. Other World Warriors has had a massive buff, and it is actually a very good category. Because not only is the Yellow Coin LR Pikkon good and we have all these options, as the two best units in the entire game, and which can completely just delete enemies once you get the Gogeta active skills out. You know, the new LR Pikkon is pretty good, I'm not going to lie to you. 50% chance to dodge built in, orb changing or rainbow orb changing built in, as long as there's an other World Warrior or tournament participant category unit in the same turn, which if you're running him, you can run a full other World Warriors team you'll never have problems with. You can have his support going, which is nice. Not to mention as well, you can double it up with the Easy A AGL Pikkon support. If he's in slot 2, which he's pretty much built to be, other World Warriors, which again, 200% leads, all tournament participant category units will have 10% damage reduction for 2 turns. That's extra for a lot of units. And again, slot 2 or slot 3, guaranteed guard, 50% chance to crit, 50% chance of additional super, and a 20% chance to dodge. He's basically the Easy A on steroids. So you're looking at, before you get serious, before Pikkon locks the fuck in, you're looking at 70% chance to dodge, good support, 10% damage reduction support for 2 turns, which is very nice. Guard, you know, all the potential system pretty much built into his passive. He's a very, very good unit, and that is before he's even gotten serious. So now that we've got serious, he's now raising attack and defense by 100% on 18 key for both. Where of course base is only defense, which is pretty good because it pads him out. But of course you've got one of these, you can additionally get 50% attack and defense. He still keeps the guard. He now has flat 70% chance to dodge, which is great. 70% chance to crit. Pretty much fuels himself with key because of the key +2 per rainbow orb, while being his own rainbow orb changer. Before he attacks, you've got an extra 10% chance to dodge. So if you want to take the risk with dodge or die, even though he does also have guard, you can put him in slot 1 where he'll have 80% chance to dodge. And then he just gets a ton of attack and defense for attacking, and then attacking with 12, 18, or 24 key. And no matter what, if a unit dodges or an enemy dodges, which I don't think any of them do right now. Aside from Tech UI from Festival of Battles, I don't think any enemy dodges. He's getting a ton of extra stats with attacks guaranteed to hit. And then with him being his own rainbow orb changer, you also get 30% extra attack on top of that for every orb obtained, along with crit chance as well. Yes, it will cap at 50, but with everything he can do built in, while getting 100% attack and defense on 18 key, that's a lot of stats to pad him out. He's very, very good. All while having, as I said, guard and 70% chance to dodge, 80 if you put him in slot 1, to pad him out, to flesh him out, to go with the amount of damage he's doing. And you can also have the easy A in slot 3, and if you do want to take the risk of putting the yellow coin LR in slot 1, you won't have to worry about them linking together. He would have got serious by now, so you can actually have them in slot 2 and 1 in slot 3. But then the AGL one will also be providing support to this guy as well, on top of everything else he can do. So the rotation is a bit spicy, it's a bit saucy. So overall, the new yellow coin LR Pikkon is very good, do not get me wrong. However, if you are lacking on Otherworld Warriors already, he's not worth summoning for. Even before you go to summon for him, the banner has no value whatsoever. So I understand that he's a very good LR. You may want him, you know, you may have the team to run with Otherworld Warriors. But unless you get very lucky to get him quickly, you know, a summon or 2 and dip out, it's just not worth your stones. It's not worth your money. Look at the banner. There is no value here aside from literally him himself. This guy you can get from other banners being unfeatured. There is literally nothing else for you to pick up here. And that is usually the trend when it comes to yellow coin LR banners. You know, when it comes to free-to-play players, when it comes to newer players, you need to be saving your stones, your resources for more important celebrations like Golden Week, like Worldwide, like Tanabata, like anniversaries. Stuff that's really going to help buff out your account, fill out the categories you need filling out, and having the better units in the game to help you beat the most difficult content. This banner isn't going to help you do that. Although I do understand Pikkon is a very good unit. So for those of you who just really, really want him, by all means, you don't need to listen to me. If he's your favorite character, go for it. You know, if there's a cheat, I always summon for them no matter what and no matter how good they are. Look at the Dime one, for example. I still summon for him, even though people said he was doo-doo. Because that's my guy. I get it. Go for the green bean. Or if you're spending money like that on the game and you're collecting all these units, then you're free to do whatever you want to do. But as I said, there's just no value for you here. Yes, he's good, but he's the only valuable unit on the banner. Other than that, there's nothing good for you here. There's nothing that's going to help you here. He's also not worth taking the chance of spending the stones with how bad the banner is. Like, he is good, but he's not good enough for you to sink your stones into, especially with Golden Week literally coming in a week's time. But as I said, that's not to say Pikkon isn't a good unit. He's a very good unit. But as I said, it's not enough for you to sink your stones into. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if this video helped you. Once again, if you do want to keep seeing Should You Summon videos continue on the channel, do show your support by dropping a like and let me know down in the comments. And also let me know if you're going to be summoning for him. Hopefully your summons go well if you have summoned or you're planning to. But I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care, have a great day, and peace.